built Ace, which is the first autonomous robot that can challenge professional human athletes under competitive conditions in a physically interactive game, here table tennis. The robot uses a system of cameras to understand what's happening. It's then taking decision how to move, and is then moving the racket to hit the ball back or to serve under the official rules of table tennis. And the robot can really do that by learning to play table tennis from scratch. So there is no way to program a robot by hand to play table tennis. You have to learn how to play from experience. So the robot has to play to learn how to play, and the more it plays, the better it gets, really. The robot recently won matches against a top 25 player in the world on the women's side and against a male player in the top 200 of the world.
So the importance of this breakthrough is really around pushing the frontier of AI. So in the past, we've seen AI breakthroughs in board games like Go. We've seen them increasingly also in video games, like our own work on Gran Turismo. And now, for the first time, we're showing this capability in the real world in a highly competitive sport like table tennis. And so it's really showing for the first time that these technologies that were developed in the virtual world or in board games can actually transfer to the real world. And how they transfer to the real world, that's really the core of the contribution of this project.
There's quite a variety of places where you want to be able to do this very fast. And I think you can see it in terms of, we could use this for smarter autonomous driving cars. We can do this for avoiding people, like, on campus here, we have cars driving around among pedestrians. Being able to understand the intent of the pedestrians fast enough that you can actually avoid them as you go around. This is bringing us closer to, you can sort of show it, or a family member can show you a particular activity, and then based on that, the robot will be able to do it afterwards. So this is coming very rapidly. Well, we can always have sort of the, the dual use technologies. We could use it for bad as well. So there's some danger there, but in general, we are slowly putting sort of ethical frameworks in place to make sure that, so like we have Asimov's laws that are sort of saying, you should not, harm a human. A robot should not harm itself unless it's taking care of rule number one, and it should not. So we have sort of, but slowly we're getting much better sort of ethical frameworks in place to make sure that we're using robots for good rather than for bad. So I think it's very exciting that it will release us from the boring things that we do in our daily life and allow us to do more social activities and things like that, because we can now have the robots actually learn these activities easily. You could show it, or you can just say, that's a YouTube video, go find out how to, do whatever, and then it does it.
Human-robot interaction is what makes this challenge difficult, right? And in many cases of human-robot interactions, you are dealing with a human that helps the robot or cooperates with a robot. In table tennis, we're actually facing an adversarial opponent that tries to make the task as difficult as possible for the robot, which is what makes this really interesting.
播报新闻是我的日常，必须时刻保持妆容和皮肤的最佳状态。当来到人生中最重要的时刻，也是 KS 逆时奇迹帮助我轻松驾驭，闪闪发光。KS 逆时奇迹活肤露全效精华、精华霜，多达5种 EGF 6大冻龄关键成分，保湿效果让我非常满意，小细纹也不再困扰我。我就是我自己的最佳女主角 ，KS 让我从容自信，光彩动人。我是我人生中的大女主，我的最爱我做主。KS 逆时奇迹系列热卖中，下单请上快点购，透过中天新闻网 App 下单立减50，或输入 CTI 推荐码有额外折扣。